Oh, come on, camera. Okay, first thing I've done is just turn the car on, put the car in neutral so that the shifter's back away from the console. I'm going to take the vents. There's two little tabs here that you pull this way. They're on this side, and you pull them toward the center of the car. The bottom one will allow it to rotate all the way up. So basically you're going to grab the little inner tab, push it up, and it will allow the vent to rotate all the way up. And inside there is a T, oh my god, what size was it? I just pulled it out 2 minutes ago. T15 torque screw straight in under here. I've taken it out so I can speed up this process for you. And you're going to do the same thing on the other side. Flip it up, rotate it down, rotate the vent up. And then you're going to rotate, once you've done that, you're going to rotate the vent down by grabbing the top clip, pulling it over, and rotating the vent down. Top clip over. Oops. This one is sticky. Really sticky. I think someone has been in here sometime before. Anyway, pop down, and then there's two hooks up in here. Use a small flathead screwdriver, and you grab the little tab and pop it down. It will allow you to pull. There comes that one side. And the other side. Don't come out on me. Rotate that back up so I can grab something. Oh, the trim ring's going to come off. Okay, if your trim ring's going to come off, and it'll come off easily, gently, just pop it off. Hopefully we didn't break any tabs. No, we didn't. Good. That actually makes it a lot easier to do. So then you're going to grab it and which way? Rotate the flap, the center flap, all the way down. There's a rod in the back that engages and disengages from this to push back and forth. And which way is it? It makes it easier. Is it in or out? I think it's all the way up. And then you're just going to kind of grab and wiggle. Oops, this clip grabbed again. Over here. Okay, there's actually 4 of them, but as long as you grab these 2 on the outside, see there's 1, 2, 3, 4. As long as you grab these 2 on the outside and lever them down, you can pop this out. Oops. Oh, come on. It's that rod stuck in the back that's kind of a bitch to lever it out of. Ah, okay, well, it's going to pull the... That's good. We need that off anyway. Well, that's what we're aiming for, so that popped off. Open the ashtray, and then just reach under the ashtray. There's 2 little metal clips on each side, and well, this is half off, so basically slide this off. And now we're going to unhook the electrical connectors. There's the one on the back here. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do, and then I'm going to turn the car, make sure the ignition's off to do this, because again, I said the airbag connector back here. If you unhook that while the ignition is on, it'll set off the SRS, that there's a problem with your SRS, and it may have to be reset by the dealership. I don't know if it's going to 100% set it off or not. I'm going to assume it's going to, so I don't want to take that risk. And so once we've got this off, put your ignition, your transmission back in neutral, turn the ignition off, and remove the key. Key has to be out of the ignition. Remember, key has to be out. So, and you can't take it out unless it's in neutral. So I'm going to put it in, unless it's in park. So put the transmission in park, key out, ignition off, unhook all the electrical, back in a second. Okay, so the ignition's off, and these are the two that I was worried about. I don't know if I had to be or not. I think that's the airbag one. Not 100% sure which one's which, so it doesn't really matter. I'm going to unhook the two. I've unhooked the two from the climate control on the bottom. I can pull this whole unit out and not knock the camera over. Now I left this unhooked when I pulled it apart before I took all the screws out, so you wouldn't have to watch removing screws and all that crap. And the radio and the cubby come out in one chunk, in one piece. There's two little tabs underneath the radio that should hook onto this cubby. That's why it was bulging up. So I'm just going to slide those back together and I should be done. But once you're here, T25 or T15, what size were they? T15? T20? T20 Torx screws. Depending on the stereo you have, if you have the command unit with the full, oops, camera sliding. If you have the command unit, it'll have 4 screws, 1, 2, 3, 4. If you just have the regular stock deck, it's got 2 screws, 1, 2. And basically slides out. And then you can just unhook everything. That's for radio removal. I'm not removing the radio, I'm keeping it in. I just want to see those 2 tabs on the top of the tray there. There should be, yeah, you can see the 2 little fingers on the bottom. Those should slide into there. Is that hooked in? Yeah, it's hooked in. Oh, whoever worked on that really bent it. Oh, that's why it looked so funny. I don't think there's much I can do about it. So I'm just going to slide this back in. You kind of have to do it again as one unit. And in your way. Come on. Wiggle yourself in there. You know what'll be easiest? Let's put the radio in first. Then take the tray. Now slide the radio out a little bit, tray in, push up, push back. There we go, locked in. So that console's locked together now. Putting it back together is the reverse of taking it apart. It's about 10 minutes, unless you're actually rewiring a stereo, then you have all the other crap to do in the back there. But that's about it. Thanks for watching. Okay, just a quick tip when putting this console back in. Everything's hooked up again. Lightly lift it out. You'll see on the bottom there's 2 metal tabs, or like spring tabs. They have to go underneath right there. Those 2 sockets were these 2 tabs on the back of the plastic. These 2 flat tabs go into there, and these go on top. Anyway, I'll just show you how to put it. When you're putting it in, these 2 little spring clips are going to try and go underneath your ashtray. You can pull the ashtray out if you want. It's just why bother? Lift the 2 little spring clips up a little bit as you're putting it in, and push the ashtray down, lid down like halfway as you're pushing it in. And you'll feel it when it's going. Don't force it. When it's gone in properly, you'll know. And then snaps. And then, of course, those 2 bolts go on with the vents. And it's just going to be a matter of snapping the vent in, putting the 2 bolts in, and done. Thanks for watching. Okay, so there we are, all back together. No gap. I know, it's a little bit anal, but I couldn't stand the gap. Yeah, popped, everything's back on, vents back on, everything works perfectly. One little tip, when you're putting the vents back in, I found it easiest to pull out the top, because the vents, the 2 screws in the bottom corner of the vents, those two screws retain the top of the wood dash panel here. So the easiest way to actually get the vents in past the wood panel is pull the top of the dash panel out a little bit, because it's not secured at the moment anyway. Just pull it out a little bit, slide the vent in, and then once the vent is in place, pop the dash panel back on, screw it in, and you're done. But pulling this top panel out a little bit will give you some room to get the vents in there. Anyway, thanks for watching.